oh yeah, man, like, oh yeah, did you hit it? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you fucking bend her over and give her a good ride? Hi, and welcome to the SaVeg Podcast.
I'm Rose, also known as Cheap Lazy Vegan on YouTube.
And I'm Daniel, one of your favorite guest stars on Cheap Lazy Vegan's YouTube channel.
We're two friends who love to talk about the latest trending topics.
So get comfortable and join us while we give our savage take on just about everything.
You are currently listening to the previous episode of this podcast, but if you would like to listen to this week's episode and get some exclusive content, go over to patreon.com/thesavagepodcast. Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the SaVeg Podcast. Rose is miming for us. It's beautiful.
I'll be in incognito mode.
Incognito. So you want to tell our listeners why you're incognito?
Because I'm not wearing makeup, so I just put on my lovely bucket hat that kind of covers half my face.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit uncomfortable because I do like to see what I'm looking at here.
But it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny at the same time. So it's my paparazzi hat, you know?
You know, we all go through our phases. Like there was one day I was really cold, so I wore like the blanket over me to wrap me
Yes.
up. And everyone was like...
I mean, maybe this is the one way to jazz up the podcast. You know, have costumes, you know?
Have like just random shit that we're wearing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
maybe I should put my hood
Because like, you know, some of the big podcasts, they always like wear random shit. They got shit going on. They got costumes.
Yeah, but we don't need all that. We don't need all that
we
jazz.
got a good conversation. We got the yak sessions.
You know what it is, Rose? We have the content. Okay?
Do we?
we just need to go viral.
Where be the audience?
It's right here.
Right here. We got our loyal audience.
We have a loyal following. We just need a viral episode at one point.
Speaking of big podcasts, like have you seen that, you know, the H3 podcast?
I haven't watched them recently.
Oh yeah, I never watched them, let's be honest. I watched like little clips, but you know how they're like huge?
Yeah, like massive.
But then I'm just like, why?
I know, this is what
I
gets
don't understand.
me. You know what though? There's some things that will never make sense to me.
No, but they are like having a crash out because like Ethan Klein's going crazy. So you know how Hassan Piker, you know, the streamer, the really famous streamer.
Yeah.
So he's very like, you know, he fights for like Palestine, right? So he's like pro-Palestine. You know, he's talks about the cause, blah blah blah. So he used to be on the H3 podcast in like a little segment. So him and like Ethan, who's like the host of the H3 podcast, they used to be like friends, right? Because they were on the show together, blah, blah, blah. And Ethan's like left wing, but also his wife is from Israel. And they met, I think, in Israel. And Ethan also has like Israeli citizenship because, you know, he's like Jewish. So he like went to Israel, did his birthright thing.
Trip.
Yeah. And so for some time, I thought it was like, he was kind of trying to understand. Like, I understand, like, if you're from Israel, maybe you were, like, fed all of that, you know, whatever propaganda, whatever side, whatever. But then I guess Hassan got off the show, and then they started basically beefing. And I don't exactly know what the beef is, but he's going crazy. Like, Ethan looks like he's lost a bunch of weight. I think he's on, like, Ozempic or something. Yeah. And he kind of looks like, some of these people, like, not to shame anyone's appearance. Yeah. But some of these people, they kind of look better with a little extra weight on them.
I know. They like
I'm just saying.
They almost like take it too far.
They look almost sickly, and I don't understand why.
Yeah. It's like they'll get the like gaunt face.
Yes, but
and then
like,
it, like
more
looks
so
bad.
than somebody else that like never really lost the weight. You know, that just kind of was always a bit skinny. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I do think so. I honestly do think some people look better like with a little bit extra weight on them. Speaking of H3 podcast. Yes. So I didn't realize that Hassan Piker had been on there because I don't really follow this podcast that much. But
it's just very long, and I don't get how people listen to it. To be honest with you,
he also had Trish for a while. Trish Paytas,
but they actually did really well that show.
Yeah, but then they had a feud or some kind of feud.
Yeah, maybe Ethan's the problem.
I know this is the thing because obviously when him and Trish Paytas, I was like, Trish is one of those people that's like just seems like internet toxicity, like a little bit, typical like whatever. But then
she's a mother.
I know she
got 3 kids now.
God damn.
Well, she has 2, and I think she's pregnant with a 3rd.
God damn, she ain't wasting no time.
And then, you know, she's married to Ethan's wife's brother.
Yes, I did know that.
There's a lot of drama. And I heard the drama is, guys, I'm so sorry if you don't spend time on the internet and you don't understand what this. So basically, she was on the show with Ethan. Yes. They were doing a segment called Frenemies, which was very famous and very popular. Yes. And then they actually had a falling out. And I think it almost happened, like literally happened on the show. And then at the time, Trisha started dating Ethan's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And then they were dating. And then afterwards, she got off the show. And then there was also drama between Hila Klein, which is Ethan Klein's wife.
Yeah.
And her own brother.
Right.
And I think they don't speak.
God
There's
damn.
just drama on top of drama.
So it does make me wonder, though, because I used to think that Ethan was this like sweet kind of like, you know, maybe
I
not
don't think
sweet.
he was ever sweet.
No, he was never sweet. But I didn't think, I thought like, you know, maybe, so there's a common denominator here, right? He's having falling outs with Hassan Piker, Trish Paytas, all these people. And I get it that those people also have strong personalities and are like internet. I feel like the internet personality people in general, like they have such big personalities and they're like,
I guess so.
You know, they just
maybe they clash.
They clash, right?
Maybe.
I think
maybe
that's
what
thing.
it is.
Honestly, I really think it is.
I mean, I just want to know, any listeners of the H3 podcast, why the fuck are they so famous and we're not? Like, give me a fucking, you know?
And another thing too, like talking about H3, but things that don't make sense to me, right? So number one, that podcast is like,
it's famous because they were already famous on YouTube.
Right. That's right.
So Ethan was already famous on YouTube.
True. What did they have before?
Well, he had a channel, like it was called H3H3.
Yeah.
Like his channel. And before the podcast, he did just like maybe some skits. Like
Right.
He like, yeah, it was like comedy and, you know, he had some viral content, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So he was already well known in that space.
It's
and then
like,
he started the podcast.
Exactly. It's kind of like that Tiny Meat Gang that like they were famous before they did the podcast.
But also everyone gets canceled. Everyone gets fucking, you know, Cody Ko got canceled.
What?
Did you hear about this?
No.
My God, we never talked about it on the podcast?
No.
Guys, we're going to go into, I guess we're talking about this.
Wait, but before we do, guys, before we get into why Cody Ko got canceled, if you guys are new to the podcast or if you're not already, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/the SaVeg Podcast, or subscribe to YouTube memberships, and you guys get exclusive content on there. So we do an exclusive episode every single month. You get all of the content ad free, and you also get the episodes a week before everyone else.
Yeah. So make sure you join us on YouTube members or patreon.com/the SaVeg Podcast.
That's correct.
And tell your friends and tell your family.
Tell your friends and tell your family.
Why is Joe Rogan as famous as he is, motherfucker?
I mean, guys, don't you want us to be as famous as Joe Rogan on this podcast?
I don't want to be that famous.
No.
But maybe like just like, you know, a little like maybe 10% of that.
Honestly, like even
if we had a consistent enough audience that if we could do this for like a full-time living.
Oh my God,
that would be good enough. I don't need to make millions.
No, if I could quit my full-time job right now.
Ooh.
Oh, guys, we need to make this happen, and then I can
make this happen.
I can quit the corporate hellscape that I'm in. You know,
imagine doing this full time, just yapping.
Oh my God, this would actually be so fun.
Yeah, I mean, we say this now, but then anything that becomes a job eventually will kind of.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think it would still be fun though.
Yeah,
it would still be fun.
It would be funner than
going to the office.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so why did Cody Ko get canceled? What happened?
So I think this was like last year or 2 years ago. So I don't know. Okay, so everyone has a podcast.
Yes.
Okay, so Tana Mongeau, you know Tana Mongeau?
Yes. Yeah.
So she's famous on YouTube, guys. If you don't know, she's this like blonde girl.
Yeah.
That used to make. No, she still probably makes YouTube videos, but she like made all these unhinged YouTube videos and became very, very famous and kind of infamous.
Yeah.
She had some scandals. You know, you got to have a few. You know, maybe this is why we don't have enough scandals. We got to have some scandals to get famous.
Yeah. Apparently.
Anyway, so. She had a bunch of scandals and, you know, she used to party and go crazy, blah, blah, blah. She has a podcast, okay?
Yeah.
And she actually became kind of YouTube famous like before she was 18, okay? So she was like 16 or something when she started making these YouTube videos. And then she became really famous. She probably moved to LA like when she was quite young.
Yeah.
Like even before she was 18, I think. So she was in this like space when she was she was very young. And at the same time, Cody Ko, who's I think like our age-ish.
Yeah, he's around our age.
He's like maybe a year younger or older.
Yeah.
So he was also like pretty famous, getting pretty famous in the YouTube space. So they're kind of like similar, you know, demographic, comedy, you know, white, attractive, young people, blah, blah, blah. So they're all living in LA. And I guess they used to like collab together and stuff.
Yeah.
When Cody Ko was like, maybe he was like 25, maybe 26.
Okay.
And Tana was like 17. So then Tana now has a podcast because everybody has a podcast. And I think like last year or something, she said in the podcast something along the lines of like how she essentially said that she hooked up with Cody Ko when she was 17.
Ooh.
Something like this.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the details of it. So basically, like, everyone found out that Cody Ko basically slept with Tana Mongeau when she was underage. And then that's it. I think that's why he got canceled.
And then he got canceled.
Well, and then, so now you know how he had that podcast with the Tiny Meat Gang or whatever, TMG Podcast with his friend Noah, I think his name is.
Yeah.
So after Cody Ko's like cancellation, which again, I don't know if he's fully canceled. I don't know if he's came back.
I feel like nobody really gets fully canceled.
I think you can always make like some kind of redemption.
Yes.
Like unless
you do something
look
crazy.
at Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
He's a prime example. Literally convicted of however many crimes.
Yeah.
Became president of the United States. Cancel culture does not exist.
No, if he can do it, anybody can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Motherfucker is 80 fucking years old.
I know.
President for the second time after he tried to pull a coup and got convicted of like fucking 91 crimes or whatever the fuck.
I know.
Okay.
Insanity.
Motherfucker is not cancelable.
No.
So after the whole cancellation, the TMG was like, I think he may have stepped down from TMG, just being like, guys, you go on without me.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Goddamn.
What do you think?
I think that's pretty wild, right? But
it's pretty wild.
Again, like I get it. Okay, like yeah, it's not a great situation because she was underage technically.
Yes.
So he's 25, she's 17.
Yes.
Like just not good. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
It's not a great situation.
No.
I do think people. Maybe this will get me canceled.
Uh-oh.
Obviously, I don't think you should be, again, especially if you're 20, 25, 26.
Yeah.
A little old for a fucking 17-year-old.
Yes.
Do I think people fucking freak the fuck out about, oh my God. Because like, if she was 18, nobody would be talking about it.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like literally a year difference.
If it was a few months, exactly. Not even a year.
Could be.
A few months.
Yeah.
Nobody would be talking about it. But because she was 17 and we have this like, line, which again I do think it's important to have like an age of consent.
Yes,
I do believe that, but at the same time it's like sometimes you have to kind of like be like, okay, well, she's 18, 17, what the fuck is the difference? It's all fucking gross and weird, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like people literally either if they're 18, you're completely off the hook, everything is fine, you're not even a creep. I mean, some people might say you're a creep, but no one would be talking about it. But because she was 17, it's like, oh my God, everything is wrong
and he's canceled.
Exactly. So I think people are a little bit stupid about this because it's like, okay, it's all the same shit. When I was 17 versus when I was 18 a few months later, not much change.
No, not much change at all. It is like I agree with you. There has to be this like age of consent.
But I think we also need to like kind of look between the, what do you call it? Like kind of think beyond the just fucking legalization of it. Well, and look at the whole picture.
Exactly. And like this is where things get tricky as well because consent in itself is a very tricky thing. Like, are you following the Hockey Canada trial?
I've like vaguely heard about this. I guess this is story number one. What's going on?
Oh my God. Well, story number one was Cody Ko getting canceled. So
well, this is an old news.
So this is actually old news though too. So apparently, guys, there's a huge
well, it's not old news because the trial's
going on now.
Right?
But when it happened, I believe. And again, I haven't followed the case that closely. There's like, we've just talked about it at work and there's been stories and everything and new things have been coming out.
Yeah.
So essentially what had happened, and I'm going to paraphrase guys, because like, again, I haven't followed so closely just from what I've heard, and read about a little bit. But essentially I think it happened in, I want to say like 2018.
Oh, okay.
Or 2019, 2018, something like this.
Okay.
What had happened was, allegedly, again, this is just from what I've read, so I know this is an ongoing case, so there's like new stuff coming out all the time, but this lady met one of the hockey players in the bar.
Yes.
So these are all like, they were all junior hockey players or whatever, but they're all like of age. Like I believe they're all like over 18.
18 plus.
18 plus. So there's no like any of that. But anyway, and she had a lot to drink and had agreed consensually to have sex with this player, right? So
that's what she said.
Yes. Went back to his room. This is where it gets tricky. So she said that she consented to have sex with him. But what happened was he had sex with her. And then this is where the details are kind of hazy. But essentially, he like texted in their group chat to his buddies and was like, hey, who's down to have a threesome or something? Right. And she said that like he went to the bathroom or something. And then she was like in the bed, but naked. Right. And she just had sex with him. And then all of a sudden, like there was someone at the door. And then like 4 other players came in the room. Yeah. And the reason why this is so tricky with the consent, and I can see because basically they like were asking her like this is what allegedly happened. They were like, oh, are you okay with this? Blah 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 blah. But she said like at that time she felt scared because she was like, I'm naked. All these like big hockey guys show up and they're like wanting her to like do a bunch of stuff. And like, so they kind of like took advantage of her in that situation. And she was drunk. She was like vulnerable. She said that she had consented to have sex with the one player, but not all these other guys that came into the room.
Yeah, I'm going to have my verdict on this. Guilty as fucking charged.
Yeah, so this is
That's fucking fucked.
I know. And so what...
She's right. Because imagine that situation.
Yeah.
You're a little drunk.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot drunk.
Yeah.
Which already, if they're not fucking drunk...
Yeah.
And if you're the only one drunk, that's already kind of, that's probably not consensual.
Exactly. It's a bit like tricky.
But hey, I get it. Like, sometimes, like, fucking 90% of sexual relations probably happen when people are a little intoxicated.
Yeah.
So you can't fully say, okay, if you're drunk, like, you can't consent because that means like no sex is consensual.
Exactly.
But if you're both a little drunk, like, that's usually when, it's fine. But like, if you're the one drunk already in bed and some fucking dudes come in when you are naked already.
Yeah.
When you haven't agreed to some dudes coming in when you're naked, that's already fucked.
Yeah.
And then, even if they're going to ask, you're asking in the, like, you might as well have asked after you fucking whip out your dick. That's
exactly.
like the same thing. Like, no.
Well, and also there was like, apparently there was like video of them like recording her saying like, are you okay with this? Blah, blah, blah. There was like all this like random shit.
There's 4 buff dudes walking into a room. You're naked by yourself as a woman.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to fucking happen?
Exactly.
I would be scared too.
Yeah.
Like they could fucking choke me to death right there.
Exactly. So there's like, so all that's happening.
Guilty.
So what had happened was, I can't remember why this case got reopened and is going to trial right now. Right. There's a reason. I can't remember fully, but what had happened was back in 2018, she like, obviously this event happened. These other guys came in the room and they did a couple things. Like she, like apparently she didn't have sex with like all of them, but like there was like, things that happened. Anyway.
Okay.
She like left, went home, had a shower and just like broke down and was like crying and whatever.
Oh no.
And I guess her mom was the one that like pushed her to be like, you need to talk to the police. Like that's not okay.
Right.
And this was way back like 2018 or something. And apparently at the time, like Hockey Canada, this is why this case is like so big.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was Hockey Canada or something, like one of the hockey organizations, they basically, because these were all like star players that were up and coming, whatever, they like settled outside of court. So they like gave her some kind of settlement of like, I don't know, $3 or $4 million. Okay. And then they thought that this was put to rest. And then I can't remember why this case has been reopened recently. I think maybe the court was like looking into it and decided like
it's worth a criminal trial,
worth it. Yeah. And so now
let me see here.
Yeah, just find out why, because I can't remember the exact. There's a reason. Like I don't think the original victim was the one that like reopened this case. It was like
right. Okay. Yeah. Oh God, there's so many.
It's because it's such a big story right now. Like it's because it's this whole concept of consent. Was it consensual? What happened? Like,
I don't believe for a minute it was consensual.
Yeah,
because you're like, how can you walk into a room, 3 men, and no. Oh God, it's too much.
Yeah.
Okay,
so essentially,
we don't know why it's reopened, but basically there is a trial going on. Basically at this moment
right now, and more details are coming out. Like one of the things that came out is like apparently one of the players like naked did the splits over her face or something, like just like
nasty shit.
It sounds like, and you know what, and this is gonna sound really bad, guys, but like, you know what like hockey bros are like?
Yes.
Like it's very like a certain culture of like, yeah man, like yeah, fuck it, and they like egg each other on and stuff. So I would imagine if there was like 4 big guys that came into your room, they would be like chirping each other as well, like just being like very like
how did they get consent? Like you filmed her?
Yeah.
And then so what? You're putting too much pressure. Like no.
Exactly. It's like there's.
It's icky at best, and it's so fucking. It's rapey at worst.
Yeah, it would be like completely different if everyone was sober and in the beginning conversation, she had been like, yeah, I want to sleep with all of you guys.
Exactly.
Then that's different. You can't consent to that.
After you had sex with this one of them, you can't just bring in more people and assume that it's all going to be fucking fine and dandy.
I know. It's so cringy. Like, oh.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
And you just know that they would have all been like egging each other on and been like, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the splits on her face.
Ew, gross.
Like, it's so gross. Like, it's just like, Anyway, we'll see what happens. God. It's an ongoing trial right now.
This is why you should not... These young men in these young sports that think they're the fucking shit need to be put in their place. There needs to be like they're treated like fucking royalty. They're probably treated so nicely. People think that they're fucking superstars. Yeah. No, fuck this. Either you're also fucking up the kids by fucking up their ego.
Yeah.
Because they think they're the shit and they can do whatever the fuck they want.
They think they're untouchable.
This is what I mean. That's what they're fucking doing.
And also it's like guys, like
go find someone else to fuck.
Exactly.
Consensually.
Behave yourselves. Like
there's
honestly,
probably a lineup of girls that want to have sex with you consensually, soberly.
Exactly. If you feel like in a situation you need to record someone to get their consent, you probably don't have their consent. You know what I mean?
True. Like that's kind of fucked up.
That is. Like imagine you're in a room and you're like, oh, actually, hang on a second, Rose. Before we do this, I want to record you to say that I have your consent. Like that is fucked up already.
It's like someone being it's like you're literally that's threatening.
Yes.
That's threatening, being like, if you don't record this, we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Exactly. And it's like it's very so like if you have to record someone getting their consent, you probably don't have their fucking consent.
That's a little fucking shady.
It's weird.
So I guess that's what's going on in Hockey Canada.
Yeah.
God, the hockey bros are...
I know. But apparently also too, like someone at work was saying, I can't remember the whole story, but like the Hockey Canada, as the stories come out and more information has come forward and everything, the board of directors has been like wiped clean and new people put in place because of all this like shady drama. Yeah, shady shit. Because like they
There's
definitely
so much shady shit that goes on in sports.
It's crazy because this happened back in 2018. The only reason we're like finding out more about it now is because back then they settled outside of court. Hockey Canada allowed them to settle outside of court. They're probably the ones that paid the money and didn't do a fair trial and just were like, again, like you said, these kids were gods and they wanted to like make sure nothing bad happened to them.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't even be surprised, although it's disgusting, but these things happen all the time.
All the time. And it's like, and you know what? It's crazy because like I do feel like we're in this like era, and which is a good thing, but also it's a scary thing where there's so many stories coming forward now. Like we're getting the Jeffrey Epsteins, the Bill Cosby's,
the Diddy trial's going on right now too.
The Diddy trial, the Jeffrey, what was his name? Jimmy Savile, the like, huge names, and you have all these people coming forward being like, this happened to me too, and it's like, what the fuck is going on behind closed doors?
Yeah.
Like, it's actually crazy. This hockey trial, who knows how many other trials are like this that all settled out of court?
Exactly.
Like, so many. Like, it's fucked.
We don't know.
Again, money. But this is the thing. I feel like eventually, somewhere down the line, the truth gets out and,
I hope so.
People get their upcomings or whatever it's called.
Well, how many people that have passed on or whatever that where the truth never got out?
This is very true.
We have no idea.
And I think it's just like the thing that makes these cases so much trickier than like a standard case. Like every case is like hard, but I feel like with SA cases in particular,
it's hard to prove.
It's hard to prove. And this is why, as like victims, a lot of victims don't come forward because it becomes your word against someone else's. And then the whole trial becomes like a batterment of your character, right? So like, for example, if you had been known to be promiscuous or whatever, then they're going to pull that out and be like, well, Rose, you've slept with 47 guys and blah, blah, blah.
God damn, Daniel. Why are you defaming my character?
I'm just using it as an example.
Someone's going to clip that portion.
That's true. They're going to like clip it and be like, Rose slept with 47.
No,
but
if I was as famous as Joe Rogan, then that portion would have been clipped.
It would have been, yeah. So maybe there's good pros and cons to not being that famous,
100%.
Right? But it's like, they'll like basically, what is it called? Defamation of character. They like try to like rip the person apart. And it becomes, unless there's like some form of like, I don't know, video evidence or whatever, it is so hard because it becomes one person's word against another.
It is so hard.
Yeah.
And then you add the consent piece into it and it's even more hard.
Well,
you can prove that you had sex.
Yes.
Maybe, if you could, if you have some DNA, whatever, you got like a fucking rape kit or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you also have to prove that it wasn't consensual. It's hard.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is too, as part of this, I think this is the hockey trial case too, is that like you have to get the rape kit obviously within a certain number of days. I think it's like 2 days or something.
Yeah, there's not much time.
Yeah, you don't have much time to do it. And like the thing also that makes these cases so tricky is number one, it's like establishing consent as well. And also number two, it's like one person's word against another. Because generally when people are hooking up, it's like the only two people there are the people hooking up. And then the third thing is a lot of these cases involve substances, right? So it's like people are under the influence. So then the question becomes like,
do you remember anything?
Exactly. Do you remember it correctly? Do you, and that's where it gets so fucking tricky with this stuff.
Oh,
like it's a challenge, like
guys,
it's like,
the only answer is
abstinence.
Yep.
But I mean, again, like that's...
Or marriage between man and woman in a family.
Well, that's the only way forward, Rose. I just it's crazy. The shit that goes down, all this stuff that's happening, the whole Diddy trial, all of this stuff. I'm just
what's the common denominator between all those men that you mentioned and the Hockey Canada? Men in powerful positions or men that have a very high level of ego that think that they can do whatever the fuck they want. Because for me, what never made sense is like half these people, I'm like, there's women probably falling all over you.
Literally lined up.
So why are you doing that? But it's because it's this ego thing. It's this like they get to this like level where it's they want control or they want whatever over these women. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Well, Rose, I'm going to say something that's controversial. I'm not a man hater. I don't want to come across that way.
You be a mansis.
Exactly. I'm a man myself. The common denominator here is just men in general.
Oh, God.
Because if you think about it, like pretty much all of the SA cases, all this stuff, it's not just men in power, it's just men in general. Like,
God.
I agree with what you're saying though. Like I think it's harder to comprehend when it's men in power, only because, I mean, we can comprehend it, but you're right. There's this concept of like, you literally, like these hockey boys, right? Like it's like they're young players, they're good looking, great physiques, all this stuff. They have these puck bunny girls that are like literally lining up to have sex with them. And yet you're going to take it.
Maybe that's the problem.
Well, exactly. Maybe it's just too easy. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But it's harder to comprehend. But then also on the other side of the spectrum, you have like guys that aren't in positions of power that are fucking attacking women and shit. So
oh God.
The common denominator.
Not all men, guys. Not all men.
Not all men. But the common denominator is man. God damn.
God, it's fucked up.
It is actually crazy. Like yeah.
But although there are some cases that I heard. So I heard of this recent case. I think there's like there's a trial going on right now, or maybe they recently got arrested, but there was this teacher. So there's some the times I hear most about women being the aggressors is usually when they're like a teacher.
Oh.
And they do a little something with their students
right
that are underage. So there was this one woman that, again, like attractive. She's like young. She's maybe like late 20s. Like maybe she was like 28. And she was a teacher and she is married, seemingly has a great relationship.
Yeah.
Seems fine. Seems great. Everything seems fantastic. And then she had this like affair with this like 15-year-old kid.
Oh my God.
Or 14 or 15. And she was like obsessed with him and like anyway, she got like arrested and I'm just like, girl, like, so it does women also definitely not in the same amount.
Yeah, not as common.
Definitely not as common.
Yeah.
But when it happens, usually it's like a fucking teacher.
God, and
it's fucked.
I know, it's so messed up. But also it's like,
what are you thinking?
I know, what are you thinking? Because like honestly, to me, it's like, I recently like went out and there was a bunch of people there that were like one of my friends, like, little sister, little like younger, not like sisters, but like, anyway. And like a bunch of them were like 18.
And they look so young.
First of all, they
are children.
I know. I'm just like, I would never.
I know. I don't understand.
Like, and 15, like, no.
That's like a literal, like, child.
I know. Like, I want a man, I want someone like.
I know. I don't get it.
Like maybe, like I always say, like I ideally, like I want to hook up with someone like closer to my age, but like a little bit younger, but like.
Even like 20s now. I'm like, oh, you look so young.
I know. I'm like, I like people in their 30s, like in the same category as me. Versus like if I see someone like, but I mean, like I would hook up with like a 28, 29-year-old.
Not 26, Daniel?
That's quite young, Rose. That's
a
10
decade.
years younger than me.
That's a decade.
I mean, on the flip side, would I hook up with a 46-year-old? Yes. So
really?
maybe I would hook up with a 20. I don't know, guys.
Ooh, 46. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
So, I mean, I guess, we're basically middle-aged.
I know. We're like, we're in this weird era. Like 10 years ahead of us is 46. 10 years below us is 26.
Well, I mean, you could say that about any age.
I know. That's true. God damn, Roses.
God damn. Okay, so that's what's going on in Hockey Canada news.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, the trial is still ongoing. So we're going to find out what happens, whether these boys get charged.
Oh.
It's a lot. There's a lot going on. Like Every day there's new updates.
Messed up.
I know.
Messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's
some
sad news from Canada.
I know. I just don't know how you get yourself into that situation. Like, well, I guess I do know how you get yourself into that situation.
Well, I think it's also just this, like, the male sport mentality, the team sport. Yeah, like, you know how like the hockey bros, the football bros, like the fucking locker room talk.
The rugby bros.
They build on each other's, like, toxic, like,
masculinity.
Yeah, and it's like, otherwise, if they were just on their own, maybe they're nice people.
Yeah.
But they're in this locker room and they're all like, oh yeah, man, like, oh yeah, did you hit it? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you fucking bend her over and give her a good ride? But it's like, it is actually crazy to me because, like, also I'm like, I don't know. You're right. I think maybe outside of that situation, they're nice guys.
Maybe they could be normal. I mean, obviously, we're not talking about the, these hockey bros or whatever. Yeah.
But it's like, I agree.
It's like this herd mentality. Yeah. It's like a very it's kind of like, in like the States, they have like fraternities and stuff.
Yes.
And you know how they have like hazing culture?
Yes.
Like, you've heard of this, right? Where like some people have died.
110%. It's like the same mentality.
It's like similar where it's like young, and they're all young as well, right? So they're like, like fucking hormones, young and impressionable. They want to impress each other.
Yeah.
And then they get into this like fucking culty, like weird dynamic. And then they do all this fucking crazy, stupid shit. And then somebody dies.
Yep. Fucking crazy.
Okay.
Rose, by the way, you need to get some spikes for your light.
I know. They're sitting on the light.
Yeah, they found a new spot.
I know. That one likes to sit there.
Is that the dad or the mom?
I don't know, Daniels. They got a lot of shit down there.
I know, he's got
I don't know if I can find spikes for that one. I'll figure it out. Yeah. Oh, God, that one's a big one.
Yeah, big mama. Maybe they're pregnant with their next eggs.
Daniel? Guys, we're talking about the pigeons on the balcony.
Rose has a pigeon infestation at the moment.
I have a pigeon infestation, and I refuse to, like... I can't kill the babies.
I know, you can't.
I can't kill them.
Let them grow up.
I can't kill them.
Yeah, do they seem, like, healthy, right? Like, they seemed okay?
It's kind of a bad situation. Guys, do you want to hear the story?
Should we tell the story, or should we...
they're in... I think we told the story about the eggs.
Yes.
Okay? So they're in... Guys, if you don't remember the story from last week, maybe...
Yeah.
I have a pigeon issue in the balcony.
Yeah.
And just when I thought, I got all the fixins, okay? I got the 2 owls, the fake owls. Yeah. Does nothing, okay? Let me tell you, let me save you like a fucking $100 that I've already spent.
I know, I love that. Everyone's like, get owls, get owls.
Owls do shit all, okay? They are a nice decorative piece. They are a friend to the pigeons, okay?
They're like, oh, cool, we got company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I got these like ribbons that are like shiny that are supposed to deter them. It doesn't do shit. We put them all over the fucking balcony. Yeah. Doesn't do anything.
They just thought, wow, they're decorating their home for us.
Exactly. The only thing that like works, but like it only works for certain situations, is the spikes that you can put on your railings.
Yeah.
But like if there's other places that they can sit, it doesn't really fucking matter.
Exactly.
The spikes work to an extent, right? But so... Basically, pigeons have laid eggs in my balcony, but inside
like
this like cushion cover.
Yeah.
So it's like inside this kind of like a box, but it's like a Velcro opening.
Yeah.
So it's kind of easy to open. But they lay eggs and they have hatched.
Yeah.
And they are now little babies in there. Now, I don't know what to do. Because they're basically like, they're sat in their own, like they're in like, the nest, their little makeshift nest, and they're like kind of sat in their own like feces, and I'm like, I don't know what to do because I don't want to move them. Yeah. Because when I open it, it's like the mom's not there, and if the mom was there, she'll probably kill me.
Yeah, she'll
probably claw my eyes out.
Yeah. But thank God the mom wasn't there.
I know.
Did you guys have to time it? Did you watch them leave?
No, we just kind of like went out and like opened it, and then like, but then it's like they're sitting in their own like shit, and it smells, and it like. And because it's not like outdoors, like it's not being like dried out or aired out properly. Yeah. So I'm like kind of concerned.
Did you Google it?
No, I was trying to Google it, but it's hard to Google it because I'm like in enclosed space. Like I don't know how to Google it.
Yeah.
So then we thought about like keeping the opening open. Maybe that's the way forward. I don't know. But then I don't really want to because then I'm scared that there's going to be like other big birds. Because I literally saw a big bird like flying and I was like, oh no, they're going to get the babies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh God, it's a stressful situation.
It's stressful because I don't...
In the Rose household.
It's really stressful. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't want them to get the babies. Like, I don't know. They're babies.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can just keep an eye on it. Like I was saying to Rose before, like even if they were in like a wild environment, like and they built a nest, yeah, maybe they'd get more airflow. But at the end of the day, they'd still be shitting in the nest, right? Because there's nowhere for them to shit. Out. Yeah,
like it was like kind of like wet in there. Yeah, this is my concern.
Yeah,
but like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's already been like maybe it's been over a week since they've hatched.
Okay.
So I'm hoping, and they were like relatively bigger.
Yeah.
So maybe in a couple weeks they can fly out. But then I'm like, are they going to get sick in there?
Oh God.
I don't know.
So many things, Rose. So many things. You know what? Animals are resilient, and you'll soon find out what's going to happen.
I don't know if I should keep it open. What do you think, Daniel? What's your gut telling you?
I don't know. Like, I mean, maybe keep it open. I don't know.
Or maybe I should just leave it the way that the mother intended.
Or just leave it the way the mother intended.
Oh God, what if they die in
there?
there?
She chose to nest in there, Rose.
Yeah, but they don't know shit. They can barely build a nest. God, these pigeons. Actually, they're pretty smart. They know that the owls are fake as fuck.
Yeah. So, and they know that the streamers are no kind of deterrent. Yeah. They don't give a fuck.
Oh, I don't know what to do.
It is what it is.
I know. I'm concerned because I'm leaving in a couple days and I'll be gone for a week. No one's gonna be home.
Yeah.
Fucking pigeons are gonna be laying eggs all over my goddamn balcony.
Could you imagine if you come back and there's another nest with
more
eggs?
Oh my God. I don't know what I would do.
Stop it. That's the other one. Oh, they found another place to perch.
Yeah. And it's right next to the owl.
Oh my God, literally it's like right next to the owl. I think that's the mama.
Come on, mama, go take care of your bird. Your babies.
Go get your babies.
Maybe that's the dad and the mom.
I think it is. They're really proud of their kids.
Oh, God, I'm really concerned.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway, guys, we digress.
Okay, I hope the mama can just take the babies out and like make a better nest.
Yeah.
Because that is not a good nesting environment.
No, it definitely doesn't seem like it's a good nesting environment.
Fuck. Yeah. Guys, I don't know what to do.
If you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section.
Oh, no.
What do you do when pigeons nest inside like an enclosed space and it gets full of shit and all sorts of things? Should you just leave it be, or should you leave it open to air out, or what should you do, guys?
Like, what should I do?
Any pigeon experts listening, please let us know.
Oh, like I don't want to kill the pigeons. I want them to fly away
and then throw everything out.
Throw the fucking thing out.
And burn
I don't know how I'm gonna throw it out.
Oh, and it's going to smell so bad.
Oh, it smells so bad, you guys. I don't know what to do with myself.
Like when you guys lifted it up, were you like, ugh?
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Oh, God.
This is what I mean. This is why I'm concerned. I feel like it's a biohazard.
Oh, it probably is.
I mean, it is a biohazard for us, but even for the baby pigeons.
Yeah.
I'm like, are they going to get fucking infested?
Or like infected?
Yes.
And, like, oh, God, Rose, I don't know. Oh, God.
People don't care enough about pigeons. I care about their livelihood.
I feel like we should need to Google this after this podcast.
Okay. Well, in other news, let's see here. Okay.
Oh gosh, what's this story?
Okay, this is a really sad story. It's been all over TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad. So this influencer, family influencer, not my favorite type of content, but
you know how we feel about family influencers.
Huge on TikTok.
Yeah.
So this family influencer, her name's Emily Kiser.
Yeah.
And she, has this beautiful little family, very young, and she has a 3-year-old son, and I believe she gave birth recently to another son or daughter, like another baby.
Well, that's the thing with family influencers. I feel like they generally have quite a lot of kids. They got to keep the channel going, the content, This is really sad, though. So I guess they live somewhere in Phoenix. Okay. Yeah. They live somewhere in Arizona called Chandler. Hot. Yeah.
And so it's hot. So a lot of people have pools in their backyard. And I guess their 3-year-old son has died because of a drowning accident in their backyard pool.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's really fucking sad. So I guess they found authorities were called, responded to a drowning call, and then they found the 3-year-old unconscious and being pulled out of a pool. Anyway, and then the poor little boy was taken to the hospital, and then he remained in critical condition for 6 days, and then he died.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's actually I don't think I could recover.
No. And
imagine.
The thing that's kind of shitty is especially with pools, they're just even if it's really shallow, they always say it only takes enough, if there's enough water to cover a kid's mouth and nose, they can drown. You know what I mean? Like if they fall and hit their head or whatever. And like honestly, pools, they're so much fun, but they're also quite dangerous.
I know, right? Because I've always been like, oh my God, maybe I want to have a pool in my backyard. But then I'm like, of course, nothing good comes without risk. Because
the thing is, number one, obviously the kid situation, because like pools and kids, not necessarily a good combo.
Yeah.
But also for adults, because like, you know what? You have a few too many glasses of wine. You slip the wrong way on the outside because it can be slippery along the pool deck. You slip, you hit your head, especially if you're by yourself as well.
Right.
Like that's why it's better. I feel like honestly with pools, it's better to go to like a public pool where there's people around. Although we had that story where someone died in the public pool and no one helped them.
Oh yeah.
God damn. Which is fucked up in itself. But generally you're going to be safer. And there's usually a lifeguard. Like that, it was like a hotel pool or something, I think, where there was no lifeguard. So anyway, as long as there's like other people around, I think it's a lot safer. But god damn,
it's so sad.
And like a 3-year-old, that is
oh my God,
terrible.
Honestly, I kept looking at stuff like this because I was like, oh my God, it's literally like the saddest thing ever. And then some people are like kind of, so I guess like they didn't have fencing on the pool. Yeah. I don't know how pools work. Okay.
But you mean fencing like around the pool?
Around the pool. And then some people were saying you should have fencing on the pool. Now, guys, we don't know what happened. Okay. Yeah. So I don't really want to. And some people were saying like, here's the thing. Like we don't know what happened and we don't know what happened. So let's not go blaming the parents just yet. And they're probably literally in the worst time of their life.
For sure. Like that's going to be like
a 3-year-old.
No.
God.
They're like so sweet.
So this is why I want to save the pigeons. The baby pigeons.
Exactly.
You want to come look at the pigeons with me?
No, I'm scared. I'm scared the mom and dad are going to attack us because they're home now, Rose.
Well, they'll probably fly out when I scare them.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm scared.
And I don't know if I can recover if I smell the smell from the nest.
It's bad. It's bad. I don't know what to do.
Let's Google after this. Okay.
I don't think we can find the answer, but we can try.
Okay. Also, guys, in other news, I think we should go to
which one?
This or next.
Oh goddamn! You want to talk about these?
So obviously there was not speculation about this, but while Biden was still running, there was all this talk because I mean, obviously Biden and Trump. Let's not sugarcoat it. They're both very old gentlemen.
Yes.
Running for presidency.
Gentleman is a strong word.
I know.
But yes, very old people.
Very old. Like I've said
like
this so
old as fuck.
I know that I've said this so many times on the podcast before. I don't understand like especially when you're in your 70s, like late 70s, early 80s, like enjoy your life.
Go to a pool.
Yes. Yeah. Well, go to a pool or
under supervision.
Exactly. Or go my grandparents. They have like a little RV. They like take trips. They do
drink a mojito.
Exactly. Like
chill. You're gonna die tomorrow. Like fuck.
You exactly like it's like enjoy your fucking life. Anyway,
I don't understand.
I don't get it either. But so there was speculation that Biden had like Alzheimer's or dementia. There was like so much back and forth around his health conditions and blah blah blah. And so this is crazy. You
okay there, Daniel?
Pardon me. So apparently Biden has come forward, or somebody came forward and said that he announced it. He has been diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And has revived questions about what health issues the former president was dealing with while he was in the White House.
Yeah, so people are speculating.
Yeah.
So in a statement on Sunday, Biden's office said the 82-year-old, the man is 82.
I know.
He was he was running for fucking president again at 82.
I know. Anyway, it's great. It's fucking
82
crazy.
Had received the diagnosis on Friday after seeing a doctor for urinary symptoms. So some doctors have expressed a surprise that the aggressive form of cancer, which has spread to his bones, was not detected earlier. Others pointed out that cancers can grow fast without the patient displaying symptoms, and that men over 70 are not routinely screened. Okay, so
yeah, I think the sad thing is, I mean, I get it. People are like, "Oh my God, he has cancer." Like now they're calling into question, like, "Oh, how was his health while he was in the White House?" Blah blah blah. Did that impact his presidency? Like, it's like, well, he's not president anymore. He's dealing with some shit. He probably this whole thing that's happening was probably part of the reason he stepped down. He probably was having some health issues.
Well, that was clear.
Yeah.
That was why he stepped down, because everybody was like, bro, you need to step the fuck down.
82 years old. Like, again, I'm just like.
I know.
enjoy your, like, the average life expectancy for men in the US is
less
like
than 80
is less than 82.
Yes.
I think it's less than 82, Rose. I think it's like 78 or something.
Yes, it's less than 80.
So like you've already beat the age of majority or the average. Like count every year as a blessing and fucking enjoy it.
Yeah.
Spend time with your family, spend time with your grandkids. Like, what are you doing? I don't get it. Like, someone explained it. I guess some people are like, oh, you know, it's so that they have a life purpose and blah, blah, blah.
Well, some people, that's like their entire life, right? They don't really do
true.
anything else, especially like men of this age or men of, like kind of, you know, boomer age.
Yeah. Men
of this age.
Well,
their life is work. Work is their life.
I think that's the problem though, too. And I agree with you. I think that boomer generation, it's like their life was work because they held so much with their job, but also a big part of it, like I look at like my grandparents' generations and stuff, and like they work for the same company for like their whole career, and that company fucking took care of them though. Like they got a really good pension, they got all this stuff, which doesn't happen anymore. So this like loyalty and wanting to stay and work for the company and do all this stuff, that's fucking gone.
That's gone. The family kind of, you know, like, oh yeah, your work family.
Yeah.
That shit's gone, bro.
Exactly. Now it's like people are working to get by, and when they're ready to retire, they are fucking retiring. They're probably gonna retire. Exactly. Especially I feel like our generation.
Our generation, we're ready to retire now.
I know, we're like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We have hobbies, we have things we want to do.
Yes.
No, we don't want to be running for president.
Especially with men around this age or boomer age, they weren't, you know, working was their entire pride and joy, and they weren't incentivized to have hobbies or have a life outside of work or even like fully focus on their family. Their entire focus was expected to be on work.
Well, and because back in that generation as well, and a little bit like less so, but like somewhat, is like they were the breadwinner. Like that was a sense of pride for them. Like they're bringing this money to the family. They never had to worry about like raising the kids or doing any of that stuff. So like that was their role in life.
Yes.
So when that's gone, they're just like, holy fuck, what do I do now?
And some people say that especially with men, I'm not sure about women, but I'm assuming more so with men, and when they retire, again, because it's that age and it's that generation, a lot of men, they kind of don't know what to do once they retire, and then that might actually be sometimes it's more unhealthy for them because they might have higher chance of like getting like dementia because they stop working their brain, they stop doing things, they literally stop doing anything, and they just kind of sit around, and
which is not good for anybody.
So like it's also important not just to retire, but like, you know, do shit. Like fucking go for a walk, go play pickleball like other old people.
Exactly. Get some fucking hobbies. God damn. But anyway, sad, his diagnosis. You know,
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Exactly.
He lived to 80 something. He was president until he was 80 motherfucking 2.
I know. So you know what?
So you know, you had a good legacy.
Exactly.
You know, ended with the war in Gaza, but you know, we won't go there.
We won't go there.
Anyways, so what's this story, Daniels?
So
God, this man.
I know. So if you guys don't remember the story of George Floyd, Derek Chauvin was one of the police officers.
Not one of the
police officer.
The one that stood on his neck.
Yes, the one that stood on his neck. And I guess this story came out that a bunch of MAGA leaders, so Make America Great Again leaders, want Trump. They're like petitioning Trump to pardon Derek Chauvin for the murder. And people are like, could this actually happen? Like there's been whispers of it. Yeah. Like I don't know if it's like actually confirmed or if, you know, but there's a push apparently from some of these MAGA people or leaders to pardon him. And people are like, could this happen? Like,
oh, I think anything could happen.
I know. At this point, I'm like, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. So Chauvin is serving 2 concurrent sentences, which, by the way, a white police officer actually being like charged with this kind of thing is already unheard of usually. Yeah. Like usually they get away with it.
100%.
But this one was such an outrage, so I think that's why he actually, you know, was found guilty.
And I think the big part about it, which is like sad, but the reality is the fact that someone caught it on video.
Yes.
Right? Like,
but I mean, I think the other ones as well, there's been other cases before where it was on video and it still was pardoned.
Yeah.
Or not pardoned, but it was like they weren't found guilty.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily the video, but yes, the video I think helped.
Oh yeah. Because he was like begging for his life and he was standing on him, it says here, for more than 9 minutes.
Yeah, because the man died fucking slowly.
I know.
And then but I think it's mainly, yes, it was the video, but I think it's mainly the worldwide outrage.
Yes.
So Chauvin was among the police officers who responded to a call to the previous spring the previous spring, accusing Floyd of using a counterfeit $20 bill. Literally, that was the fucking...
I know.
You know, this is another fucking thing.
Yeah.
If the man wasn't like, you know, being accused of like murder
yeah.
or rape, it was a counterfeit $20 bill.
Yeah. And then they said after Floyd was handcuffed, so he was already handcuffed,
Oh,
Chauvin restrained him
bringing back bad memories.
I know. On the street as Floyd repeatedly pleaded, "I can't breathe."
No.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, I mean, it's crazy, and I just really, really hope that, you know, they actually can't. Well, I mean, who knows? The president can do some crazy shit.
Yeah, and people are saying that, oh, George Floyd died from a drug overdose. Really? Really? I don't think so.
I know.
We all see the video.
God damn. Apparently, he's not considering it at this time, but who the fuck knows? God damn.
I think if he does, there's going to be huge fucking riots.
The backlash would be fucking insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yes. This is another crazy thing.
God, the fucking Trump dump never ends.
Oh, my God.
So Trump, I think in the beginning, he was saying he's going to end birthright citizenship, which, by the way, if you don't know what that is, it's basically if you're born in the States, you are a United States citizen. And Trump said something insane where he was like, we're the only country in the world. We're the only country in the world that does this. No, you're not. Canada also has fucking birthright citizenship.
You know what really fucks me off with Trump is that he says all these things and no one fucking like he should not be allowed to say these fucking lies.
Yes.
Because people believe him. Like people will be like, oh, they won't fact check and they'll be like, oh, we're the only country that does this. So why do we do it? Like we should get rid of it. And it's like, it's crazy. And the whole concept, or not concept, but the whole reason why I could see why Trump and his fucking conservative Republican people would want to get rid of it is their whole argument is that somebody could like illegally cross the border, have their child in the U.S. and their child is now a U.S. citizen. Like that's their whole thing. They don't want to like have illegal people coming from China into their country, you know?
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
So it was one of U.S. President Donald Trump's most ambitious executive orders, and it came hours after he took office for a second term, ending the United States policy of birthright citizenship that has lasted for more than a century.
Yeah.
So I guess just 3 days after Trump issued the order, a federal judge in Washington state blocked the decree from going into effect. And now, since the months that followed, 2 other federal judges joined in issuing nationwide injunctions. So basically people are fighting on this.
Yeah.
Okay?
People are like very like.
So on Thursday, the issue will reach the U.S. Supreme Court with the 6-3 conservative dominated bench. So right now there's 6 conservative people in the Supreme Court
versus 3. Oh my God.
And then the Supreme Court's technical job is to be unbiased and to go off the Constitution. Okay, so that's important. But, you know, is anyone ever unbiased? No.
Well, and I also feel like having a 6-3, like at least have it a little bit closer. So it's like not as like anytime you have a majority.
Yeah, I don't understand the Supreme Court.
Yeah, me neither.
It's because basically they like, I think the president, I think when you win a Supreme Court like seat, that's yours for life, which I think is already a little fucked. Yeah. So that's yours for life. And then only when you die, it gets replaced. So then, guys, this might be wrong. I don't know. But I believe whoever is president at the time can decide who they put in the Supreme Court. So this is why the whole, you know, like there was that lady, Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
So she was like very old and she was part of like the kind of left wing sort of portion, the Democratic portion of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And I think she was about to die and everybody said, can you please step down while we still have Obama as president?
Right.
So that he can put in, you know, someone on our side.
Yeah, a younger person that's probably going to be around for a lot longer.
Or like someone that's like not a conservative, right?
Yeah.
But then she ended up continuously staying in her seat and then she died when I believe Trump was president.
And then
this is how we have a majority. Or I think something like this.
Yeah.
I remember there was some controversy around that. Yeah. So that was one issue, right? Because you're allowed to step down, but I think that you're not allowed to be removed. I don't know. Very strange.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's see here.
So it'll be interesting because like I guess the Supreme Court has to vote on this and decide. And like, this is going to be another groundbreaking, like thing that's happening in the U.S. You know, it seems like we're going back in time.
It says proponents point to the U.S. Constitution's 14th Amendment ratified in 1868, which reads, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. You know what's funny? These conservative people are obsessed with the Constitution.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, they don't fucking want to abide by the Constitution. It's literally in the goddamn Constitution.
Rose,
you're obsessed with the goddamn Constitution.
I know, but I will go to my grave saying this because it just proves true time and time a fucking again that everybody, you know, the Republicans, conservatives, they want their cake and they want to eat it too. You know, they will pick and choose. Yes. You know, when it comes to gun legislation, they are going to
obsessed with the Constitution.
Obsessed. They're going to be Constitution at the forefront. But the interesting thing now, they're going to say, oh, you know, the 14th Amendment, not so important. Yeah. Not a big deal. So it's like, why are you picking? It's honestly, it reminds me so much of people that are like super religious, follow the Bible.
Yes.
But then again, will only pick out certain verses and say like, oh, a man shall not lie with another man.
Yes.
Homosexuality is wrong. And it's like, but it also says you're supposed to stone somebody that's like an adulterer or like, you know, you're not supposed to have fish on Sundays or something. Something random, you know? It's like, you're not following all that shit. So like, don't pick and choose. And I feel like that's exactly what they're fucking doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And they are obsessed with the Constitution when it serves their agenda.
Yes, when it serves their purpose, when it serves their agenda, they love the Constitution. And then now it's like, okay, well,
I hate it. It's like these big corporations as well that are like always wanting tax breaks and all this shit. But then when shit hits the fan, they're the first lining up for government handouts.
And they're the first to get it.
I know. It's like crazy to me. And then
I know.
Flip side, they're doing really well and stuff. And they're like, shit, we don't want to pay tax. No, we don't want to. Why are we going to pay tax? Damn.
So in other great news.
God damn.
I don't even understand how this even happened.
I don't know either. But apparently, guys, a Mexican Navy ship.
Trading ship. It looks pretty fucking fancy.
Yeah. I mean, it looks
like it's out of like fucking
the medieval times.
Yeah, it looks like it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know. So apparently this Navy ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yes.
And it has these big masts. That's what the problem was. And I guess it might have maybe underestimated the height of the bridge.
Yes. Well, I don't know how that, like, don't you take that into account?
Mm-hmm. So apparently the vessel was on a global tour when it veered off course in New York's East River.
And the Brooklyn... Okay, well, that's the story.
That's the story. Okay, well, you know.
So, yeah, I saw the video and basically it was kind of hard to see what was going on. But I guess, like, yeah, the ship is just, like, too long, right? Like, it's too tall.
Yeah.
And it struck the Brooklyn Bridge kind of like the bottom of the bridge kind of struck the part of the ship. And then it snapped its masts and it killed 2 crew members.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I know. And it's probably like one of those moments, you know, when you see like, for example, you know, like on those overpasses where they're like, this is the height.
Yeah. And you're like hoping.
Yeah. And then, and you know what? We've all done this where we've like, well, maybe not all of us, but we've like maybe rented a vehicle or like we're in a truck or something and we're like, shit. And it will always be in meters and stuff too. And I'm just like, it will be like, oh, clearance is like a certain number of meters. And I'm like, is this car going to clear it? Like, I don't actually know how tall, like, how many of you guys know the exact height of your vehicle? I guess if you have a big vehicle, you should know.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those things where you're probably just like,
you're just kind of hoping.
And I feel like that's what they did. They're probably like, oh, the clearance is this, but like, I think we're okay. Like, let's just hope for the best. And then they got too close and we're like, fuck.
But how did they die? These 2 people.
Well, probably the mask snapped. Maybe they fell off on somebody. People die, Roses.
Not a good way to die.
Maybe they got caught in a rope that got pulled up in the mast and then it
Shut
just
the
like
fuck up,
fucking,
Daniel.
you know, snapped their leg off or something and they died from external bleeding.
Oh, God. It's sad.
It is. It's crazy. I don't understand like what was going on.
Someone dropped the fucking ball here.
Oh, yeah. The captain. The captain of the ship, you know, I like, why did you, I get it that they veered off course, but first of all, like, why did they veer off course?
I don't know.
What are they doing? And if they can see, like, if you're going up to the bridge, you
maybe like clear the crew, just be like, hey, crew, maybe just like come over here.
I think we're going to hit the bridge, guys.
Yeah, I think we're going to hit the bridge.
God damn.
Is that a notification on your phone?
It sure is. I forgot to put it back on airplane mode.
It's an interesting notification, Daniel. And on that positive note,
guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. Guys, like we said earlier, if you're not already, check us out on patreon.com/SaVeg Podcast or YouTube memberships. You get content a week before everyone else. It's all ad free and you get an exclusive episode every single month. And then for those of you that are watching on YouTube or following us on your favorite podcast platform, don't forget to hit that follow and subscribe on YouTube. Then you get updated as soon as new episodes go live.
Thank you so much for listening, you guys, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.